I can tell you with absolute certainty that the Cuban people, they were so happy to see us. I'm gonna get a little emotional. It was an incredibly emotional experience to be there. I think one of the things that was very emotional about it was that I was born in 1961. So the Cuba-U.S. relations are really my history of growing up. And it was always, it was painful to know that there are these beautiful, lovely people, like right next door on an island, that we've never had the opportunity to see. Even with the extreme poverty that truly our embargo contributed to, they were really, really happy to see us. And they could not have been more genuine about their happiness, about kind of, you know, I hugged a lot of people during the time I was down there because I was just so happy to embrace the Cuban people, and they were so happy to embrace us. I think it was emotional on both sides. When we had the opportunity to chat with a university professor from University of Havana, he's a really neat, incredibly intelligent guy, and he's this man of the revolution who was a believer in it and has continued to be this great professor at the university. And when he came to see us, he could not wait to talk to the Americans because I think he wanted to share with us his pride of being a Cuban, his pride of his country, but how happy he was to see us and how willing he was to embrace us. And then he shared with us, the translator mentioned that his wife had recently passed away. And all of us were just struck by the emotion of that understanding, that common understanding in the human condition, if you will. And so to kind of see his kind of the emotion pass over his face of his recent loss of a loved one, and then our empathy, you know, there was no language barrier at that time. And the reason that was important to me is because that was one of the main reasons I was there personally. It was because it was an opportunity for me for Cubans to see how loving Americans are. And I think for Cubans, they wanted to show Americans how loving they are. And it was painful for me to think that for 50 years, we haven't seen each other.